Why the heck would I give up the stability of a W-2 job to risk starting my own business and private practice? Let's talk about it. Hi there, I'm Alysha. I'm a Psych NP and I own my own private practice, and I teach other Psych NPs how to find freedom and balance in their lives by owning and operating their own private practices as well. Let's start with talking a little bit about my background in psychiatry and what I loved about working for someone else. So I started in psychiatry as a nursing assistant in psych, and then I moved into an RN in psych, mostly inpatient, and then I worked as an NP in psych in a few different settings: inpatient, outpatient, consult liaison, and some forensic psych, so working with individuals on probation. So some things that I really loved about employment is the team aspect. I became an NP before COVID, so there was a lot of in-person work. And so I really liked having the social aspect, laughing with some of my coworkers, spending time with them, just running questions by them because I just passed them in the hallway. And I really loved the stability. I knew what my paycheck was gonna be. So why did I give all of that up to take a risk on starting my own private practice? I really knew that it was time to leave when I noticed over time that I was really overworked, underpaid, and underappreciated. Though my immediate team really appreciated me, I really felt underappreciated and overworked by management. And unfortunately, a lot of that was what the hospital, some of the changes that the hospital underwent during COVID. And I think what made me really sad was that I had worked at several amazing academic centers as an RN and NP, and I just was seeing this trend over and over again of people being overworked and underpaid, and jobs where that wasn't happening were far and few between. And so I essentially realized after, speaking with my managers and saying, hey, this is the normal expected compensation for psych NPs. I've done this, this, and this. I've grown in this, and this way. I bring this and this, and this to the hospital. After trying to have some of those conversations and realizing that they weren't going to go anywhere, I really started thinking, you know what? I think I either have to consider not working as an NP, which I really didn't want to do because I love working as an NP. I love this job. I love psychiatry. Or I stayed in this and I created the job that I wanted. And I wasn't really sure what that would look like. I thought maybe I would do kind of a mix of maybe a small private practice and teaching at a university. I never realized that it would grow into having my own successful practice. And then instead of teaching at the university level, which I did for several years, both graduate and undergrad, I was rather going to start teaching more and more psych NPs online how to open businesses. And it's grown into this now. But I think that's what really started to make sense in my head was that if I wanted the ideal job, I would have to create it. And so some of the fears that I had before making that jump was, of course, financial. It's not sure how much you're going to make in private practice and how quickly you're going to make it. I will say that I am able to tell my mentees in my mentorship program what typically happens and how much you should expect to spend and when about you should potentially be able to go part-time, full-time, just based on trends. So having a mentor that has gone through this, and I've now mentored over 200 Psych NP starting businesses. So having someone that has that experience and can tell you typical trends and a step-by-step guide on how to open it can be really, really helpful. And if you're curious about my mentorship program, there's a link below where it talks a little bit about what's included and what it is. But I didn't have a mentor like that before starting my private practice, so I was just really worried about what financial commitment it would be. I was really worried about what the time commitment would be. So, how much time do I have to dedicate to this? How much time am I going to spend on admin work? Is that admin work going to be unpaid? Am I going to be working all hours of the night? Spoiler alert, you don't have to always be on call. Even if you own a practice, you can still have really good boundaries and take time off and things like that. But I was worried about time. I also was really worried that I just wasn't good enough. I saw myself as not being good at business. I thought, that you had to be like really confident and you had to have an MBA, or that you had to somehow know how to market yourself. I just thought like, I don't think I have the personality for it, which there's not really a good personality for business. For the most part, if you are good at your job in psychiatry and you're good with people, business is a skill to be learned. But I just didn't see myself as like the business type. I don't really know what that was. I just thought like it isn't me and I can't do it and I'm not good enough and I don't have enough clinical skills. I felt like I needed to be someone that I always knew what the treatment plan should be for the patient right away and things like that. I was just really hard on myself. I really, really struggled with confidence in the beginning. But despite those fears, I took baby steps and it was more exploratory. I was like, let's see if this works. I really feel like this is the path for me. I just have to figure it out. And so the steps towards independence that I did was I ended up quitting my full-time job and I took a part-time job where I was paid a little bit more hourly. So it wasn't exactly a 50% cut. It was just like a lower, it was a cut in pay, but it wasn't as much as you would think. So I took a part-time job to focus on opening my practice part-time. And I talked to a friend of mine that's a psychiatrist that had a successful private practice. And I just researched the heck out of business. I ended up finding a really wonderful Psych NP that is also an attorney that helps with like the corporate formation in my state. And so I ended up meeting that person or writing to them on an inquiry on their website for their legal services. And they ended up really helping guide me too. So I kind of pieced things together, even though I had no idea what I was doing. And I made so many mistakes. And that's a big reason why I love being a mentor in private practice, is because I can teach people a streamlined approach and they don't have to make all the mistakes that I made, which is really rewarding to see. And so what does my life look like now? I currently do about 2 to 2.5 days of clinical care per week. So I do still see patients, which I really love. A lot of those patients have been with me since the beginning. And then with the rest of my time, like I said, I'm a private practice mentor for Psych NPs. And so I run a mentorship program and I teach Psych NPs how to open and run successful businesses. I was really excited when more and more people started asking to pick my brain about private practice, and specifically Psych NP private practices, because we have, so many different restrictions in different states. And so the more that became a part of my work and the more I started filming videos and making content about this and the more people were helped by it, it was just really, really exciting to me. And it became really, really clear that this was going to be part of my work and part of my business. And so I really love it. If you would like to connect and you'd like to hear more about mentorship, there's a link below where you can click on that and learn more. And otherwise, if this video was helpful or you have any questions, feel free to comment and like below and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.